so welcome to Meet the Boss Juniors. Today I'm speaking with you, Luke Fletcher, CEO of Foxo. So first question, you might know I love cars. What's your favorite car?
I love cars too. As an 80s kid, I grew up loving the Lamborghini Countach. That car always reminded me of, the Matchbox cars that I had. And it was just such a, really loud and obnoxious car and a big statement piece and head turner. And as a young kid, I just loved that idea. And I don't think I've ever let go of it. I think it's just a really cool looking classic car. The good thing about it is they've just re-released it last year, in fact, in 2021. So, obviously Lamborghini really liked it too. So they've come back and taken a more modern take on it. But sadly, it's a little out of my price range at $2.5 million. What's your favorite car?
My favorite car is the McLaren F1, the 1995 one.
Very good. Are you watching any of the Formula One?
No, I don't watch Formula One. Okay, so I
okay.
know about your company, but first, tell me your story. How did you get to be a CEO?
Well, I've got a bit of a funny pedigree. So I come from a family of doctors, but I'm really grounded in the creative arts. So, when I was a young kid, I, like at about your age, I was very much tethered to a old computer called a Pentium. And this was the machine that I grew up on. So I was pulling it apart, fixing it, putting it back together again, learning all the ins and outs of it. But I also used it to create, artwork. So as I got older, I started using computers to, create designs, and that led me into the field of marketing. And there I started leading some marketing teams. I even started my own business as, the owner of a creative agency. And that took me all around the world. So I did some really great stuff all around the place, running some great creative teams and businesses. And then from there, I came back home, and my brother-in-law, who's a doctor, he actually came to me asking if I can help him solve some communication problems that they're facing in healthcare. And that's where Foxo was born. And I got brought into the idea because Foxo is all about communications, being technology, and the health sector, which was my brother-in-law's field. He asked me to jump in, build the business, build a product, build a team, and importantly, build a really cool brand called Foxo. And I kind of fell into it in many ways, or grew into it, and I absolutely love it.
Great. So tell me all about your company. What is your product and who are your customers?
Well, so Foxo is a communication tool in healthcare. So, think of sending a message on like Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp or something like that. And that's the foundation of what we do, but we do it in healthcare. So we do it between doctors, between businesses, where they can communicate about a patient really quickly and solve some problems, which typically would have been solved on a machine like a fax machine or a telephone or even their own email, which is just not ideal to solve critical problems around a patient in a quick, timely manner. So Foxo was born to solve those clinical problems across businesses really quickly and efficiently. And that's what we've done. So it's a really fancy product. It's great. It's beautiful. I love the way it looks. I love the way it works. And everyone that uses it seems to agree with me on that one. So really proud of this product, the brand, and the team.
What do you like? What do you love most about your job?
Well, I love building new things. So I think, the greatest thing about the job is, kind of steering the ship in many ways. So my creative roots, meaning, I love building new things, and that's what really gets me going. And then also seeing those new things excite our customers and new customers is really exciting too. So, at Foxo, we live and breathe innovation and creativity. which means my creative streak really gets a workout because, you know, I inject that into the business, but I also live and breathe it too. Yeah, so, you know, I think it's really important to have something that you're passionate about, and that's well and truly alive in this role and inside the business.
What's the hardest thing about your job?
I'd probably say focus. So because of Foxo is very adaptable, it can be used in many applications. But as a young business, we really need to focus on our strategy and execute on that. So me personally, I need to make sure that our product and our business is focused on the right areas and verticals and problems. So then I've got to make sure that the rest of the team are really focused. So the sales team and the engineering team, we're all building the same thing to, you know, make sure that we can address the vision that we're trying to achieve. And yeah, so I think focus is definitely the most difficult thing, but it's not impossible, which is good.
So what's the hard? I mean, so what's one piece of advice for me as I think about starting my own company?
Oh, great. Firstly, what sort of a company are you thinking of?
Cars.
Cars? Well, I think, you know, I've built a number of businesses, and I always start with the brand. Like, I know a lot of people will start with the problem and the solution. And obviously that's a sensible starting point. And I think the next point that you should really be focusing on would be the brand. You know, think of some of the top brands out there. Well, what's your favorite car? What was it?
The 1995.
McLaren.
Okay.
Yeah, and McLaren's such a great brand. Like, it's prestige, it's speed, it's expensive, you know, and they spend a lot of money on maintaining that brand, and everyone knows that brand. So, you know, I think about the Foxo brand as well. You know, it's unique, it's memorable, and it stands out. So I would suggest, you know, focusing on not just, you know, solving a problem that's really passionate to you, which I think you've nailed, but also building a brand that people can relate to and love and become a brand advocate. That will, you know, really help multiply what you're doing. And, you know, having a whole community behind a brand is very powerful, you know, just like yourself behind the McLaren brand.
So looks like that's all we have time for today. Thanks so much for coming on our show and sharing your story. Best of luck for your future.
Many thanks, Liam. It's been an absolute pleasure. See you, mate.
Bye.